everyone, to Life Balance Power, a safe place to explore and learn about yourself. We're here with Archna Patel for Archna on the Spot, a mini podcast where Archna responds to her followers' questions. Archna's coaching style is incredibly unique. Her special talent is to put herself in her client's shoes, examine their situation from their perspective, and identify their next best step with regard to their skills, thoughts, emotions, experiences, limits, and beliefs in mind. Because of this, she can help her clients continue to move towards success. Archna, I have a question for you from a lady named Maya. She's 39 years old and owns a successful community bookstore, but she feels burnt out. And she's considering closing down despite her knowing that her customers will miss the store. She's also concerned about how this decision will affect her ability to support her two young children. So she's considering, because she's burnt out, going back into a corporate job. Her question is, how do I decide between my well-being and my obligations to my customers and children when considering closing my successful business because of being exhausted and going back into a job?
Okay. So Maya, I don't know if the question really that you want to know is if you want to close it down or not. I don't know if you've made that decision or not. You may first want to ask yourself, why are you burnt out? What is causing the burnout? Is it a lot of hours? Is it not enough self-care? Is it running 24/7? Where is it that you are not replenishing yourself because you are replenishing enough for your clients, for the business, and your kids? So it feels like a very drastic approach to shut it all down and go to a 9 to 5 job. And I don't know if you wouldn't be burnt out in a 9 to 5 job. So something else is going on for you that's telling me there's a bigger reason for the burnout than just the business. It might be emotional, it might be family, it might be relationship, it might be health. I don't know what that reason is. You did not declare it. But I can tell you the business is successful. So you may need to have somebody else manage the business and get more hands off of it, because then you're the owner of the business and not working in it. So if you're playing two different roles where you're doing full-time business and you're taking care of everybody else, and now you don't have enough time because you don't have staff, that's a different problem. Means you need to learn to let go. Means you need to learn to teach and let somebody else, because a successful business is not something you just throw away. It's not something you don't give up on a successful business. You give up on a failing business, and you give up at a point that you've exhausted all your resources. But a successful business is something you sell and thrive, and you make sure you're making all of your money where you can retire. So if you want to quit and go to a corporate job, that does not feel like the same thought process when somebody is struggling or succeeding. That's when somebody's struggling to make ends meet. That doesn't seem like you. So I would go back and say, what's causing the exhaustion? What's the burnout? And then first take a vacation. Maybe that's what you need. You need to get away and trust somebody else can take care of this time. Put somebody in place, take a vacation, learn to what it feels like to have a successful business without being in it 24/7. Enjoy that. And then, if you really want that structure, get a part-time job. Let the business do its thing, and you get a part-time job if you really want it. You may not need it if it's successful. You may be okay. You can make sure that it's working for the community, your kids, you, and get a part-time job or something like that. But I'm not sure if closing down the business is the right question right now. Maybe, why do you want to close it down? I would dig deeper into that. There's a little deeper reason and that you're frustrated. And that once you find that frustrating reason, that's the answer that you need to look at. That's the solution you need. Once you find that, everything else will fall into place because most of it is already in place working. It's just you need to come to terms with whatever that is. Okay? Thanks, Maya.
Great solution. Take a vacation and think about it. But it
Right.
sounds to me like Maya may need some help figuring out
Yeah.
exactly what that root cause is of that burnout. And that's where your coaching services come in. So perhaps it would be good for her to book a discovery call with you. Archana, can you tell us a little bit about that?
I think that's a great way because if I can get her to identify what that core frustrating feeling is, that can be handled within a very little time frame, whether it's getting help or whether it's emotional or physical, all that. Once we get to the root cause of what's really causing all of this, we can get to the root solution as well. So yes, a discovery session would be great. I can get to know her and really ask the right questions, and then she can feel like if it's a good fit and really get the answers that she's looking for. And then if that she feels like that's a really good way to look at it and that helps her, then we can actually schedule some coaching sessions with her to support her on her business and her personal life. So my coaching is not just helping for business. Yes, there are a lot of coaches that will tell you, okay, do this right here and move this over here and sit this over here and do this and say this. No, I'm really working with the business owner. How are you doing and feeling? Because how you do and feel is how your business is going to do and feel. You handling yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, health-wise, all of these areas is what you bringing into the business. So I work on you as the executive of the business. So that is where I start. And then you do the rest of it. So I make sure that the owner of the business is right on top of everything. They've got the ability to handle and manage and take care of business because the rest of them is all handled well and taken care of.
Great. And if any of you are stuck or have some decisions to make, I encourage you, book a discovery call with Archna. It's not going to cost you anything. You can go to Life Balance Power and you'll see the big, pretty pink button that you can choose to book your appointment with her. And I thank you all for tuning in to Archna on the Spot. We learn from each other, so we encourage you. Send your questions in. You can feel free to send your questions to askarchna@lifebalancepower.com. And we'll see you next time for Archna on the Spot.